Okay, so here is a position that we are holding in our account. Essentially, if you see my other videos, I'll just do high level thinking as to why we are in these positions. This isn't financial advice, nor is this close to the depth of analysis that we'll do prior to entering these positions. But I just want to make some short videos out there as if I would be talking to my partner about some of the positions that we're having and why they make sense for us to be in, or why they have more potential upside than downside in the places where we are entering, right? So Rio Tinto, essentially for us, our book is basically 60% long on tech names. And a good way for us to diversify that is find other names that essentially will not make us so concentrated in a specific sector, right? So Rio Tinto, essentially, they are a explorer, miner, and seller of commodities. And a key reason why this particular position makes sense to us, and especially makes sense to me. And one of the ideas that I had was essentially a few months ago, the markets anticipated that the Fed, or they were pricing in, that the Fed had inflation coming down to 2% in a straight line, right? And I was plotting some CPI data on charts, and if I could find the chart that I posted, I will share it on the screen here or in the comments below. Or if I don't, just ask for it and then I'll find it and then send it to you. But essentially, to me, I had data that was unconventional, that nobody was looking at, that I believe was enough of a signal to actually say, okay, maybe inflation isn't coming down as quickly as the market anticipates for it to continue to go, right? There might be some sort of consolidation in CPI data, and that might spook the markets and even change the market's tone in thinking, okay, inflation numbers aren't coming down, maybe they're going to go up. And if the market thinks that, they might start to anticipate, or they might price that into specific stocks that have correlation to inflation data. So for example, Rio Tinto, they sell commodities, and commodities have a correlation to inflation, right? So when inflation goes up, these commodity prices go up as well. And if you are a seller of these commodities, which Rio Tinto is, then their earnings will go up, or traders and investors at Wall Street will notice that their commodity prices are going up and price that in before their earnings, right? So if that is a scenario that we see has a likelihood of happening, then maybe we should be long this particular position. So as I've also shared in my other videos, right, it's always important to zoom out, not only in real life, but when you look at the charts. And Rio Tinto seems to be holding up technically, right? Oh. And looking at where we are now, and if our thesis is correct, this might be a potential entry point for us to enter where we have more upside than downside, right? So not only that, Rio Tinto operates globally. They're in 30 plus countries. So in terms of geopolitical risk, in times we're at now, there is somewhat of a diversification geopolitically. And not only that, another big reason why Rio Tinto can move is if China opens up and starts to pick up the pace in terms of their growth, right? So as China comes out with positive data, which we do believe could very well happen over the next few years, if we are still in this position, then these commodity names will pick up as well, which is also a positive reason why we might want to be into Rio Tinto at this point, since we are looking at multiples in China from a lot of their equity, from their securities, and they seem very depressed and compressed, right? So if kind of the taps open up there, maybe some investors in the US start to liquidate, take profit. They'll say, oh, where else can I put my money now? And they'll look at China, and where these prices seem quite attractive. Maybe that might be a place where we want to be positioned prior to that happening. So that's kind of the high level thinking for Rio Tinto. We have 2,300 shares in this account, which is the only account that I am covering. There are more, but that's kind of where we're holding at the moment. That's kind of the high level thinking. If you enjoyed, please comment or something. I don't give a shit, to be honest. So just if you have questions, leave a question. But yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.